from here, right? Pause it. Be strong from here. Don't want to let it come here and then try and catch it up. We don't want, and that's like the rep of the year. It's either this, or just something, there's no intention in it. Hey guys, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about smooth machine press and some techniques that make the best out of your shoulder workout. We'll be covering range of motion, time and attention, and all the contractions to really hit those shoulders hard. So let's get started. All right, check it out. You like biceps? I do too. But we're talking about shoulders today. Okay guys, all jokes aside, the reason why I like doing overhead press in the Smith machine is number one, it takes out the momentum from doing them standing. I can control a little more, and for those who have a difficult range of motion, or I'll say mobility in their shoulders, is a really good substitute for free weight overhead shoulder press. So normally doing this, and there's like benefits to doing them with the backup or without the backup. So if we're looking at doing like shoulder press in the Smith machine or anything necessarily with this way, 90 degrees or a little bit less than that, we are hitting the shoulders. We're gonna hit a little bit more of the pec minor, that clavicle, the pec 2, and the anterior. Basically, you're in a fixed position. When you're doing the press, it's primarily going to hit mostly your anterior delts, the front head of the delt, and some upper chest, clavicle head of the chest. And for sure you'll get some side delt as well too, but not as much because we'll simply speaking, because our back is supported from floor to core, we are pressing with the back, basically having this here is giving us more help. So having on a rack and staying in front of my body, see that anterior head of my delt, even though we're pressing up, right? I'm gonna hit a lot more of this because just simply the angle of this stays in front of me. It doesn't travel back at all, right? Plus, when it comes to stabilization, everything's stabilized for you from the back. So as long as you keep yourself in a good position in terms of like from floor to core, butt in the back of the bench, shoulders back away from your ears, core engaged and being here, yes, that's all great, but if I take this thing off and lean back, now there's a lot more emphasis I have. I can't just lean back. If I lean back slightly, I'm at 90 degrees right now, and if I just do it yourself, try this actually at home. If you're sitting on the edge of your couch, maybe your couch, maybe a chair, maybe in your office, I don't know. If you're at work, do this with me. Literally, sit like this if you have a bench in your, if you don't have a back on whatever you're sitting on, just try with me, all right? Sit like this. Get a nice position here, and now just lean back a little bit. That much, I can already feel my core and everything engaged. Now, I'll show you the anatomy real quick so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Don't get too crazy now. Chill out. So I'm on the bench. Look, I want you guys watching me here and watch me still active right here. I'm still activated. My core is still engaged, but I'm leaning back. Even if I come up a little bit more, right? I'm engaged here, right? For me to push, everything's engaged here. If I take this thing off and do the same thing, this is that much harder. Like I have to stabilize through here a lot more. Now so you guys can see the difference of what it looks like from the back. If you just look at my back straight up, right? Now if I lean back a couple degrees, my back is tightened right up. So my core is engaged more, my back is stabilizing more. I have to stabilize through here, otherwise I'm just gonna fold whatever which way, right? So the difference between using the bench with the back up and with it down is simply you're gonna have to engage your core a lot more. Anyway, so the reason why I like doing this is basically exercise selection. What movement am I gonna do that's gonna really benefit me all the way around, right? Now, for those of you guys who are just building yourselves up, or for most part, a lot of you guys really don't think about this in the first place. So a lot of us aren't actually as strong as we think through the torso. What's gonna happen with this is it's going to force the torso to work that much harder to stabilize. But it also puts us in a position where we're being a little more functional. I like doing a pull-up. The shoulders have to move. You have to go from here. You basically have to move, travel to this way through the shoulders to actually get up and down, instead of being in a fixed position and just kind of pulling down. Anyway, I like to set this thing up as if I was doing, say like a free weight, barbell overhead press. I'd walk, this to be high enough, off, but it'd be high enough for me just to be able to walk right in, and unrack, and then I'm here. So when I'm pressing all the way up. Now, when it comes to this is the Smith machine, so you can't really do it standing up, which sucks, right? So for the most part, people's only option is to take it to the free weights. And some people just aren't ready for that yet, right? So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna sit our butts down. And setting ourselves up is gonna be the same. I wanna make sure that I'm sitting at least under this. And you wanna rack it close enough so that if I'm sitting here, I'm close enough here that I can just get under my arms underneath, and when I stack up, I can just get up and it's already off the racks. There's already tension there, right? So you're gonna have to adjust a little bit. Just make do with what you have. Just make sure it's low enough that you're not trying to do this and pull and come down. It's better to get underneath and unrack this way than it's to pull off and start from the top. So starting from the ground up, like I'm gonna get myself close enough to this where I'm here. I need my feet to be actively on the floor. If I was sitting like this, I'd be able to stand right up and sit back down, right? I wanna be active. I wanna be active through here in a athletic position at all times. If I'm like this, I'm like, all right, man, let's do this, dog. And you're just like, yeah, oh, yeah. Or like when people are like, yeah, because this is really works really good when you have the feet up and you're balancing. It doesn't work. So let's be in a good place that we're stabilized right from the base. And then chest up, you're already engaging your core. You're already ready for the bar itself. So shoulders back away from your ears and ears down this posture where you're here and not like this, right? Then I'm gonna take my hands, again, right over top, and then hands gonna go underneath, right? And again, this is a little lower for me, that's fine. I wanna start off with this thing under tension anyway. The great thing about this is, I'm in Smith machine. So guess what? Oh man, I can't get it up. There you go, good to go. So from here, arms underneath, I can wrap my fingers if I need to, or here, it's fine. But what we wanna do is, again, we want this meaty part of the hand here, right? If you look here at my hand, right? We want this part, right? That right here, like, you know, martial artists know about this bad boy here. Everyone's probably seen this, hitting the nose. This is the hard part. This here connects all the way. This is like strong as hell right here. This is not strong. This part here isn't strong. It's this part here, right? So you can be here or here. That's fine as long as this is coming across this strong part of your hand. That's your base. And then once we're in that position here, we're getting those elbows underneath or externally rotate or put the elbows underneath and lift ourselves up, right? Now, how far away do I want my hands to be? Mobility will play a part in this. If you don't have the mobility to get in here really close, you don't need to. Just get yourself in a place where you're comfortable. I would say having like a 90-degree angle at the bottom of this is fine, right? It's about 90 degrees from here, right? Pretty simple. So we've unracked, we're setting ourselves up, floor to core, shoulders back away from your ears, chest is up, elbows underneath, unrack, and we're gonna press this thing up, but we're also gonna think we're pushing ourselves into the floor. What I mean by that is we're gonna push up and through. Full extension as if we were doing an overhead press. Now if you look at my core, it's engaged. I'm not doing this. I'm engaged from here. And this is how you should be for any of you guys who are out there doing free weights like this, like a barbell overhead press. You should be the same way. This is not going to change at all for those who are doing it outside of the Smith machine. You should be engaged the exact same way from the torso up. The only difference is we're sitting and we can't use a little momentum from our hips. The hips are out of the equation. So from here, it's a little more strict. We can control a little more. Our range of motion is right behind, right below, right a little bit above the collarbone. If you have enough mobility to get down there, that's great. But right here, my shoulders are stretched in a great way. And then from here, tighten the core, big breath in, and then head's gonna come up, and then through, right? Now, I wanna show you guys what it looks like from the back. Pause. So you guys know what it looks like from the back. I'm gonna show you guys what we don't want. You see my back, how arched it is? All right, so I want you guys to show you guys the difference between a healthy back and a not healthy. This is a not healthy back. This is my core not engaged, arching all the way back. This is my core engaged. It's the difference between this and this. This and this. This and this. And we're pushing up, over, and pushing myself down. Not here. I'm pushing myself in to the ground and through. Controlling it down, pressing through. Now, doing this, you can put the time and attention a little more here because we're sort of safe. We can rack this pretty easily. And there's also like safety bars here too. So, you can put it right here. And then if you can't get it up, how strong I am. And you're like, there you go, right? So we're safe, right? So now we can take the insecurities of dropping this and look like a dumb fool in the gym because we're safe here. So take out the fear and we're gonna work on controlling this weight as much as we possibly can. So when it comes to our time and attention, what I like with this is being explosive, but under control on the concentric, really loading that eccentric through their delts, the front delts. So basically, if you're looking at this in terms of activation and where you should feel it, floor to core, we've unracked the weight. Right now, we're looking at pec minor, anterior delt, a little bit of the lateral head. Pushing up, and then we're getting into the anterior delt, and then we're getting to side delt, and now on the way down, we're gonna get into that rear delt. On the way down is basically gonna help it come down on the way in terms of the shoulder, right? And then we're back to the front, pushing through and controlling on the way down. So what I wanna do is a nice stretch and then push and then controlling it on the way down. From here, right, pause it. Be strong from here. Don't wanna let it come here and then try and catch it up. We don't want, that is like the rep of the year. It's either this or just something there's no intention in it. So we wanna go from here, tight from the bottom, pressing up, controlling it down. Those elbows break, chest up, on the way down, pause, push. Control it down, pause, push. And if you watch me the entire time, my core is engaged this entire time. It's not, because as soon as I do this, you can see my posture, just literally my hips just went from like being strong this to be like, bleh. And if you're looking at it, we got weight coming from the top and we got ourselves pushing the bottom, pushing up. If we don't engage our core, what happens? Well, those little discs sitting around in this area here, they get compressed. And it might not be an issue today, but it will be down the road. So engage your core, tight, tight, tight. In floor to core, you're strong from here, you're active, you're engaged. Shoulders back from your ears, elbows underneath, unrack. There's already tension right under your chin or right above your collarbone. Breath in, tight core, pushing up. And then controlling it down. You can do it for 2 seconds down, pause, push. We can do 3 seconds down. Then we can do a bigger pause down here, and then a slower push on the way up if we want to. Play around with the time and attention, with each part of the contractions, with the eccentric or the negative on the way down. Maybe pausing at the lower part for a second, then pushing up 2 seconds for the contraction and holding at the top. It doesn't always have to be 3 seconds down, 1 second up. Those are great things. Those things I've coached. Those are like, that's your default. Master those things, we got those things down, great. Now we can play around with the contraction in terms of the time and attention. And that's gonna intensify the set before we even add any more weight. So start with this. Get a weight that you can control. Do about 10 to 15 reps where you can control the weight, that same type of tempo. Controlling the weight here, full stretch, and then fully contract at the top, and then all the way down. Making sure you can continue that for the entire time. And if you can't, lower the weight. You wanna struggle to get around 10 and you really, really struggle to try to get 15. And then if you can't get 15, great, you're gonna keep doing that until you can get 15. And then by the time you can get 15 for all of the reps, for all the sets, maybe 3 sets, then maybe increase a load. But even before that, we can slow it down even more. We can play with some other parts of the contraction, right? So again, we're learning the basics. We know the basics. We're just gonna think a little bit more in terms of understanding contractions more, playing with a little more, understanding we can do so much more with our reps before we're actually starting loading a bunch of weight for progressive overload. Anyway, guys, if you guys have done this before or haven't done it and you're gonna try it, let me know in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. If there's any other exercise you guys want me to cover, let me know in the comment section below. I would literally hit every single one of them. You guys tell me what you wanna see and I'll create it for you. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Become what the tell like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth. And for coaching, johnachieve.com. If you want to know more about my coaching, guys, book yourself a 30-minute consult. We go over everything: nutrition, supplementation, training, mental health, whatever, business, whatever it is, guys, you want to know, what you need to know. And then at the end of the consult, I deduct off any package that you pick. Guys, hit the description below for those discount codes and promo codes that will save your life or change your life for the better. Like Johnny for 10% off, bluestarnutraceuticals.com. Anyway, guys, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Send me your progress pics, your training pics, and your video clips, and I'll repost it for you because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.